Did you know that setting and reaching goals is one of the best ways to increase hope-filled thinking? When you know that you can set a goal and move toward it and reach a goal, then that is incredibly powerful at raising hope levels in your life because you realize I'm not helpless. There's something I can do. But a lot of times in my own life, I know that I have set goals that are way too vague, way too broad. I'm not talking about way too big. You can set goals as big as you want, but they need to be specific and they need to be targeted. When we use words like more and better, or even less, less isn't as much of a problem, but more and better and less to a lesser degree are problematic words in goal setting because they're not well defined. You know, I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better runner. Um, I want to get stronger. Like those are fine. They're good goals, but they're not necessarily motivating because they're ambiguous. Like, what does that even mean? Like, how much more? Like, I remember saying to my wife one time, I just want to be successful. And she's like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know. Doesn't mean this right here. What I am, this is not success. I want to be successful. So it's another way of saying I want to be different, which, how different? Different in what way? Mark, you are different. But success is a vague goal. It's like the horizon. It's always moving. Like, how much more money do you want? Just a little more than I have. So it's fine if you're struggling to set goals, I guess, to start with something that's ambiguous. But if you want to really jumpstart your hope levels in your life, then get really specific with your goals. If I wanted to be a better husband, and I don't because I'm the best husband that any woman could possibly have. But if that wasn't true, and I wanted to be a better husband, rather than setting a goal and writing it down like, be a better husband, what I could do is I could ask myself, what are some things that a better husband or a good husband would do that I'm not doing, but could be doing? I could, this is all theoretical, of course, I could stop leaving my shoes in front of the door. I could clear my dishes. I could empty the trash. I could not do things to purposely irritate my wife so much. I mean, that's if I wanted to be a better husband because I wasn't already the best one. I'm speaking to those of you who realize that you're lacking in that husband department. When you set targeted, specific goals that are tied to specific actions, and you complete those goals, that feels really, really good. So take your large, vague, generic goal and break it up into specific steps that you could take. I think I told the story in one of my posts a week or so ago about a time in my wife and I's marriage, a time while my wife and I were married, me and I, us and our whatever, we were living below the poverty line. And I was listening to radio programs like save up emergency funds. Whenever I'm sarcastic, I default to a hillbilly accent. I don't know why I do that. Save up for emergency funds and 6 months of emergency spending. The Dave Ramsey stuff. I didn't have any ability to get 6 months of emergency funds set aside. Save 15% of your income. Like, are you kidding me? I don't have 15% of my income. So those were specific goals, but they were out of my reach. And it's discouraging when you set goals that are impossible for you to hit. I'm not talking about goals that stretch you. I'm talking about goals that are impossible for you to hit. So if all of your goals are either generic or impossible for you to hit, that's going to discourage you. That is a hope killer. So make them smaller. Break them down into smaller and smaller portions until you reach a level that you either know you can hit or with just a little stretching you can hit. So in the story that I'm talking about, I started saving $5 out of my bi-monthly check. Now, $5 was not going to get us to retirement. $5, that worked out to $10 a month. You see how I did that math? 5 and 5 is 10. I mean, how much better is that? I mean, I'm amazing. I blow my own mind sometimes with how I can do math on the spur of the moment like that. Anyhow, $10 a month isn't going to get you to retirement. Like if you save $10 a month every month for the next 20 years, you'll have enough money to go to McDonald's twice. It's not going to solve the problem. But it was a goal that I could hit that would move me from inaction to action. And as I started doing it and I saw that I could at least do that, it encouraged me and it got my thinking going and my imagination going. And I was able to find new options and other opportunities. And today, it's not a problem. I can save $5, $10 a month and much more than that. But it started with breaking an overwhelmingly generic or impossible goal down into the smallest possible segment, the lowest common denominator, the thing that was doable. And then I did it. So, all to summarize in saying this, if you've watched this far, God bless you. If you want to see hope levels rise in your life and you've been fighting with these vague generic goals that are discouraging you because there's no clear path to them, or you thought you needed to set goals that are literally impossible and you don't know how to get there from here, break them down into smaller bites. I would rather do 10 small things successfully than have one large impossible goal that I have no hope of reaching. Because as you raise your hope levels, more opportunities and more options will present themselves. Do the small things that you can do, and they will lead to the impossible things that you never thought were possible. Have a great day, everybody.